What's up, y'all? Today I have a lower body workout for you that is going to use just one thing. All you need is a resistance band. Now, I know that it is hard sometimes. This is great if you travel a lot or if you just don't have that much equipment. Sometimes it's challenging to find something that is good, portable, easy to do in a small space. So this workout is going to be just that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain the workout format first. We're going to be doing 6 different exercises, and you're going to have them grouped into 2 different sets, if you will. You're going to do each set 2 to 4 times depending on your fitness level, and the reps will range from 10 to 15. So depending on how you feel, where you're at with your fitness, and just how you feel overall is going to determine how many reps you do. Now, the more advanced we'll do up to 15. If you're new, then you want to nail your form and everything and work on 10 or 12. So we're going to get started. First set of exercises we're going to do, we're going to take the band and we're going to put it over our shins. So about halfway through, you're going to stand about hip width apart, and we're simply going to do step outs. So you're going to step out to the side and then back in, out to the side, then back in. And we're going to do, like I said, 10 to 15 of these depending upon your fitness level. Now, you want to make sure when you're doing these that your feet are facing forward, excuse my socks, and that you keep all that weight primarily in that stabilized leg. So you should feel most of the work start to happen on the leg that isn't moving. And sometimes that's not what we would initially think, right? We think, well, the leg that's doing the work should be where we feel the burn. But you're gonna see that that's not the case because you're activating actually the glutes on the other side. So, and your other stabilizer muscles in your hip. So we've got about 10 to 15 on this side. Then we're gonna go right into the same thing on the other side. Now, you also wanna think about making sure that you keep a slight bend in your knee, your hips are back, and then also that you're keeping those feet flat and that you keep tension on that band the whole time. And you also do not want to be using like your whole body to move back and forth. You are just moving your leg. The less movement with this, the better. So core's engaged, nice and neutral spine, just slightly hinged back with those hips, and you've got 10 to 15 on each side. Then you go right in from that, and we're going to do an around the world. So same position again. So it's gonna burn, y'all. You're going to go from out like you just did, then you're gonna go back. Kind of like you're hitting all the times on a clock. So you're hitting 3, hitting 6, then 3, or 6, depending on what direction you're facing, 12, all that good stuff. So you're just hitting different times, and you're gonna do this about 10 times or so. So it's gonna really start firing up that opposing glute, right? So you wanna just keep that motion, everything nice and square, all that weight in that standing leg. And you'll do this to where one full set is 1 rep. So you would do that for about, and if you're new, you would probably do it about 5 to 6 times. If you're more advanced, then you'll go up to 10 full rounds. Then we'll do it on the other side. So this one, you don't keep the outside foot as flat. So you're kind of in that same position on the standing leg, but you are just moving a little bit with that other one. So again, I'm gonna do a few rounds, and the more farther you step out, the more you're gonna feel it in that standing glute. And let me tell you, my glutes are burning right now. So, there's that. Let's do one more full set. So forward, center, back, center, forward. All right, that burns. So we've got those two exercises which really start to fire up the glutes, right? Then we're going to go into a kickstand hinge. So you're going to stand on the, actually let me stand on this side. You're going to stand on the band with one foot. That foot's going to stay down. You're going to kick back onto your toes on the opposite leg. And you're going to keep your hips square and you're going to hold the band with the opposite arm, right? So as you can see, this is what it looks like. I'm holding it like this. Hips are square, back foot is just on the toes. All my weight is in the flat foot. So the foot that, or the side that the band is around. So I'm going to stand up as much as I can. I want to focus on trying to keep my shoulders square, nice neutral spine, and I'm going to hinge over as much as I can, keeping all that weight in that standing side. Then I'm going to stand up, get those glutes all the way up to extension, and then come back down. So you're fully going down, hinging back, stand up. So go down slow, try to keep everything square, stand up. You want to make sure that you're not allowing this back leg to take too much of the work. If you can do this without even barely touching the ground, then go for it. The other thing you want to make sure you don't do is really lean into and twist over towards that foot. You want to control it down and then stand up. So you're going to do anywhere from 10 to 15 on this side, and then you will switch to the other. So I'd loop it over the other foot, and then I'll grab it with this hand, kickstand the other foot back, and same thing. Hinge over, hips are square, stand up, squeeze that glute. So there's two, and just breathe through the exercise. And again, this is not something that you want to fly through. This is not a high intensity workout, okay? So please don't get that twisted and don't think that you should be getting super intense burn right now. You're gonna get the burn, but it's gonna be more slow and steady. And that's gonna get that muscle working actually a little bit more. It's gonna wake it up more, especially if you have glutes that tend to want to stay asleep. This is a great round of exercises for that. So there's those three are what you're going to do again. So you do it 2 times or 3 or even 4, depending on your fitness level. Then you're going to go into round 2. So round 2 is going to consist of some stuff where you're going to put them over your knees now. So you want to make sure when you do this that you're not letting it drag or really dig, I think is the word I was looking for, into your knees. You want to make sure it's a little higher up, right? So you want to make sure, again, feet are about hip width apart. We're going to start with squats. So you're going to squat down, try to get as low as you can, stand up and squeeze. Now when I say low as you can, doesn't mean just drop it down and let your knees go in and out in all directions. It means it's a controlled deep squat. And if you can only get to even parallel, that is fine. I want you to think about your forearm, because when you squat, you want to press against the band, but you want your knees to follow your feet. So the direction of your feet is where your knees should be. However, the direction of your feet should never be turning in with a squat. So they can be slightly turned out or they can be straight forward, whatever feels most comfortable for you. So you're letting your hips go back and down this time, and then you're standing up and squeezing your glutes at the top, nice and controlled. So that is exercise number 1, anywhere from 10 to 15 reps with the bands over your knees. Then you've got exercise number 2, and this is a good one, okay? So you're gonna be lunging, and there's 2 options. You can either do just a basic stationary lunge, depending on your fitness level. You want to bring your feet so they're hip, so you start hip width apart, slide 1 foot back. You're going to drop it down 90 degrees. So you want that front leg, that front knee right over that ankle, right? And then that back leg, you can kind of put directly under that knee. It can be a little slightly farther back, but you're gonna drive up and either stand straight up and then come back down, or you're gonna drive up and press off and lift that back leg, and then softly come down. So it's like a power lift, and you wanna try to keep your chest up with a nice neutral spine the whole time. Now again, the other option is just to keep that foot down, let it drop down, come up, down and up, okay? So you can do 10 to 15 either way on both sides. Then you're gonna move into exercise number 3. And exercise number 3 for this one is you're gonna take the band, you're gonna do, so the first round we did a lot of unilateral stuff, so one side at a time. Now we're doing bilateral squats, and then unilateral lunges, and then bilateral hinges. So for this, you're gonna stand with both feet on the band, and you really wanna watch your back on this one. You're gonna hinge those hips back, holding it with both hands, and then stand up, shoulders back. Keeping a nice spine, let those hips go back, try to keep those legs straight, come up. You can keep a slight bend in your knee, but you wanna keep them straighter. Straighter the better for this. Hinge back, stand up. Hinge back, and you should feel this a little as in your shoulder blades, and not from the band itself, but from you holding your shoulders back the whole time. So number 3 is hinging with the band. So let's go over those again. So second round of stuff is the 3 exercises. We've got squats, we've got lunges, stationary lunges or stationary lunge with a kick, and then hinges. So you've got those 3 things, and you would do 10 to 15 reps, 2 to 4 rounds, and then call it a day. So I hope that you will try this workout out. Let me know how it goes, and I would love to hear from you. Share this with anybody that you think might benefit from it, and I will catch you next time.